Hi, I'm Dan McLellan at the local brewery. We're here for the final push, Yes on C. Let's take a look at what's going on.
No problem keeping up the charges, yeah. No problem. It should be an easy vote. I just urge everyone to get out and vote. And if you do that,
think of all those memories through those years. Think of Dan Fouts, Air Coryell, evolving the game of football in front of your very eyes, going to the game with your grandparents, your parents.
Hi, I'm Dan McLellan. I'm with Chargers former center Nick Hardwick. We're at the Get Out the Vote for Yes on C. Nick has been just an absolute all-star in terms of talking to fans and engaging people and understanding why this is so important to San Diego. Nick, what's your message today?
Well, a couple of reasons to get out and vote yes on C. One, there's all the financials that go along with it. I'm not here to speak about that. For me, it's about the memories. And it's about preserving the memories that have already been created here in San Diego amongst the team, amongst the city. Between the two of those, watching guys like Dan Fouts, Charlie Joyner, Wes Chandler, Doug Wilkerson, Ed White, Donnie Masick, Junior Seau, Leslie O'Neill. It's also important to preserve the memories that have yet to be created, the ones that are going to happen over the next 55 years. And I look at what happened in Chicago and with the Cubs winning after 108 years of suffering through not winning championships, getting close, but not quite getting it done. And when they were finally able to do it, that moment, and seeing everybody and that joy, it's collective joy in one city. We deserve that in San Diego.
Ultimately, why are you supporting Prop C?
That's the right thing for San Diego. I mean, look, it's the Chargers have been part of who we are as a city for 50 years. For me, it was very important to get the financial terms set, the additional ones that the team agreed to, guaranteed no general fund dollars to be used, protecting our tourism economy. You add all that together, it's the right thing to do.
Johnny Amondes with Boat Pride, also known as Johnny Boat Pride. Also kind of, hey, it's that guy. Johnny is somebody who goes around the country supporting the Chargers, goes to a ton of games, actually is in the Fan Hall of Fame, and has been a part of this get out the vote, support the Chargers, keep the Chargers in San Diego movement. Now, Johnny was part of meeting with the mayor throughout this process, and the mayor's kind of done a 180, to be honest about that. How rewarding is it to see him come on board this process with us?
I'll tell you this much. From the beginning of the process, the mayor always said that he wanted to keep the team here. There's a lot of politics involved in the middle, as we all know, and other politicians that are friends of the politicians that kind of changed things and changed the game plan. But I'm glad that he took, even though a lot of people were asking, where's Kevin? I'm glad that he never went against the plan, but he wasn't for the plan at the beginning. And I'm glad that he's happy and satisfied, and to see him and Dean in the same room, smiling, looking at each other, and doing something for the greater of the future of San Diego is a very proud moment.
We saw Dean Spanos here, Mayor Faulconer, a ton of former Charger players, and a ton of fans encouraging the public to get out and vote yes on C. It really accomplishes three things. First of all, it provides $800 million for a non-contiguous expansion of the convention center. And additionally, we'll build a new Chargers stadium out of it. It'll provide $350 million worth of funding towards that stadium. The Chargers will pick up the difference of $650 million of private money coming into it. And really, of the $350 million in private money or public money that's coming into this, about $150 is going to go towards putting a roof onto the stadium and $200 million for land and other expenses. Well, what does that roof get us? That roof allows us to host events like the Final Four and Democrat and Republican national conventions. It allows this to have 100,000 extra square feet of convention space for all sorts of events which will benefit San Diego. So it's really a $150 million public contribution, which is being paid for by out-of-towners to have a huge impact here in San Diego. And the third incredibly important thing that this does is it legalizes our tourism and marketing district tax. Many people don't know that there's a 2% tax of our TOT, which is called a TMD tax, which is used to market the city. Unfortunately, it was never voted on by the citizens, and many believe that it's illegal. And right now that represents at least a $10 million a month growing liability to our general fund if that was ever be found illegal. And there's a recent new lawsuit that's going to challenge it. But passing Prop C will put a cap on that liability because we'll have legalized the tourism and marketing district tax. So it saves taxpayers a tremendous amount of money in the fact that we're not going to continue this burden that the TMD has created. We're also going to save $200 million in construction costs because everybody agrees that we need a stadium and we need a convention center. But by combining those two in the same facility, we'll save $200 million. Ultimately, there's a cap on how much private money is going to come into this venture. So every single dollar that is saved in construction costs is a tax savings. In addition to that, the actual language of Prop C says that it's illegal for the general fund to ever be tapped in for paying back the bills. The exact language is that under no circumstances. Dan McLellan reporting for the Presidio Sentinel. In my opinion, getting out the vote yes on Prop C is the right thing to do.